أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد.
We see that number one, Ibn Abbas and in the previous hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 4 takbirs. Number 2, recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha. Mujahid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he states, he was from amongst the tabi'een, he states that I met 18 of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam عن القراءة على الجنازة, and I asked them about reciting Surah Al-Fatiha in Salatul Janazah, and every single one of them told me that yes, you should recite Surah Al-Fatiha in your Janazah. So in conclusion, the manner and method of Salatul Janazah is, number 1, the Imam stands over the head of the male or the middle portion of the female. Number 2, he says Allahu Akbar. Then he recites Surah Al-Fatiha, and same does the congregation. According to the Hanafi scholars, you make thana. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabaraka ismuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa jalla thana'uka wa la ilaha ghayruk. Then the second takbir, and then the Imam and followers all recite durood. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Then you make your next takbir, and then you make dua for the deceased, another takbir, and then assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to the right only. Or, and it is permissible to make salam to the left also. You do as the Imam does. The Imam makes salam to the right and the left, you follow him in the matter. He makes salam only to the right, you follow him in that matter also. Walhamdulillah. So that was the manner and method of Salatul Janazah. With that, inshallah, we conclude today's lesson, and we will continue next week bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I also want to remind every single one of you that there are many aspects in the book of Janazah that we will not cover in this chapter, but rather in the course, the final rites, we will take those matters in greater detail. For example, what is the reality of death? So Sulaiman or Ahmed, he is now being pronounced brain dead. He's lying in coma for the past 6 months. Is he alive? Is he dead? Does his family have to pay for him remaining in ICU, intensive care unit? And what if it's costing them a lot of money? What about matters pertaining to euthanasia? What about putting off the machine? Is his wife in iddah? When does her iddah end? When does her iddah begin? When he fell into the coma? When he is deep in the coma? A lot of matters, a lot of ramifications. The reality of death. What happens at the time of death? What happens to the soul? What about interaction between souls? Maybe the soul of a pious being, a pious Muslim's passed away, and your soul when you are asleep. Can the souls meet? What about the dead hearing? All of these matters will be taken in the course of the final rites. Also in the final rites on the second day, we will deal with the topic of inheritance. And as has been said, there's nothing like inheriting a few £100,000 from the estate of your grandfather or relative to increase in your love for them. So we hope inshallah that every single one of you joins us in the course of the final rites, dealing with everything from the time a person gets sick up to the point that we distribute the estate. And with that we conclude today's lessons, but I think we have a few ahadith left. Now, hadith number 457, 458 and 459. Do we take it today? We never know. Will we be around next week? We'd rather do it today. Hadith number 457 and 458. صلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على الجنازة فحفظت من دعائه. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم performed Salatul Janazah, and Auf ibn Malik, he said, I memorized from the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. So this shows us that sometimes the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم would recite in a raised tone so that the Sahaba could memorize behind him. And he صلى الله عليه وسلم said, Allahumma ghfir lahu warhamhu, O Allah, forgive him and have mercy upon him. Wa'afihi, and look over whatever mistakes he made. Wa'afu anhu, wa akrim nuzulahu, and wherever he is going, make it good for him. Wa wasi' mudkhalahu, make it wide. وَاغْسِلْهُ بِالْمَاءِ وَالثَّلْجِ وَالْبَرَدِ, and cleanse him with water, with hail, with snow. وَنَقِّهِ مِنَ الْخَطَايَايَ كَمَا يُنَقَّ الثَّوْبُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الدَّنَسِ, and cleanse him of the impurities of his sin, just like how a white garment is cleansed. وَابْدِلْهُ خَيْرًا مِنْ دَارِهِ وَأَهْلًا خَيْرًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَأَدْخِلْهُ الْجَنَّةِ, and grant him a place better than the place that he had, and people better than the people that he had here. وَأَدْخِلْهُ الْجَنَّةِ وَقِهِ فِتْنَةَ الْقَبْرِ, enter him into paradise and protect him from the trials and torments of the qabr. وَعَذَابَ النَّارِ, and from the punishment of the Jahannam. Rawahu Muslim. Hadith number 458. We are speaking now about the dua that one recites in the Salatul Janazah. We had mentioned you say your takbir, Surah Fatiha, another takbir, Durood, another takbir, and this is where these du'as come in. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا صلى على جنازة, the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, if he prayed over a janazah, would say, اللهم اغفر لحينا, O Allah, have forgiveness upon our living. The first category that we make dua for is us, ourselves, the ones who are living, the ones who are still praying, the ones who are still around, because our deeds and our books are still open. Allahumma ghfir li hayyina wa mayyitina wa shahidina wa ghaibina, our dead, our present, our absent, wa saghirina wa kabirina, our small, our old, wa dhakarina wa unthana, our males, our females. Allahumma man ahyaytahu minna fa ahyihi ala al-Islam. O Allah, those who are living from amongst us, let them live upon Islam. وَمَنْ تَوَفَّيْتَهُ مِنَّا فَتَوَفَّهُ عَلَى الْإِيمَانِ, and whoever from amongst us dies, passes away, let him die upon Iman. Allahumma la tahrimna ajrahu. O Allah, do not rob us, do not prevent us our rewards. What reward? Our reward of joining this person and performing Salatul Janazah over him, over giving him the ghusl, our rewards for joining in the procession of the funeral. All of these rewards, Ya Allah, do not prevent us from getting these rewards. وَلَا تَفْتِنَّا بَعْدَهُ, and do not put us into a trial, into a fitna, after this person has now passed away. Maybe it was the father, and he would look after his sheep, he would look after his family. Now that the shepherd is no longer around, we fear fitna for the children, for the wife, etc. So we hope and we make dua to Allah that He do not put us into a fitna after the passing away of this person. So we see the manner and method of Salatul Janazah from the beginning until the end. You make your intention in your heart, Allahu Akbar, Suratul Fatiha, another takbir, Durood Ibrahim, another takbir, dua for the deceased that we've gone through. In fact, if you cannot memorize these du'as, and if the only thing you can say is Allahumma ghfir lahu, Allahumma arhamhu, O Allah, have mercy on him, O Allah, forgive him, that suffices, insha'Allah. Another takbir, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and if the imam makes salam to the left, then you also do likewise. The last hadith for today's lesson, inshallah, hadith number 459. وعنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا صليتم على الميت فأخلصوا له الدعاء. That when you pray janazah over someone, over this deceased, then have ikhlas in your dua. Whatever you are asking, ask with ikhlas, for verily this person, that's the thing that he needs. That matter, that object is something that he really desires and needs at that time. He requires your dua. So make ikhlas in your dua. Make dua sincerely for this person, that may Allah forgive him, may Allah grant him khair, and may Allah grant all of us khair and barakah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the trials and torments in the grave. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.